There lived a beautiful queen. One day, as she was sewing by her window, she pricked her finger with her sewing needle. A drop of blood fell onto the snow on a window sill. The red looked so beautiful against the white snow that the queen said, "I wish I had a child with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as the window frame." Soon after, the queen had a baby daughter. The baby had white skin, red lips, and hair as black as ebony, so she named her Snow White.
Ebony means black, or it's a shade of black.
Black as ebony, so she named her Snow White.
Very good.
Unfortunately, the queen died when the child was still a baby. Bad one!
Don't start that again.
After a while, the king married again. But the new queen was selfish and vain. She had no use for little Snow White at all. Instead, the new queen spent much of her time gazing at herself in her magic mirror. Each day, she asked the mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?" The mirror always replied, "You, my queen, are the fairest in the land." This answer satisfied the queen until the next day when she would ask again. More than anything, she feared that the mirror would discover someone even more beautiful than her. In the meantime, Snow White was growing up and becoming more and more lovely. One day, the queen consulted her magic mirror as usual. "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?" she asked. But this time the mirror answered, "Snow White is the fairest in the land." The queen was furious. Immediately, she started working on a plan to get rid of Snow White. The queen called one of the royal huntsmen to a secret meeting. "Take Snow White into the forest and leave her there," she commanded.
Dun dun dun.
"And make sure she can never find her way back." The huntsman took Snow White to the very edge of the kingdom and left her alone deep in the dark forest. Snow White was frightened and felt like crying, but instead she decided to find a safe place to spend the night.
Then what happened?
She wandered through the woods until she came upon a tiny house. She knocked on the door, but no one answered, so she went in. Inside, she found a table set with 7 plates. Upstairs, she found 7 little beds. Snow White was hungry and tired, so she ate some of the food and then went to sleep on one of the beds. Later that night, the 7 dwarfs who owned the cottage returned and found Snow White slumbering. She looked so lovely that they decided to let her sleep. The next morning, the 7 dwarfs listened carefully to Snow White's story. "You will be safest if you stay here with us," the dwarfs said. When the